Are any of you fascinated by the natural world in a way that goes beyond just individual disjointed landscapes like a forest here or a desert there? In other words, you look for contrast between different kinds of environments, or along those same lines, you're entranced by islands and how they stand out from everything around them, whether that's water or something else, like a forest on a mountaintop in a desert, or an endangered ecosystem in the middle of a city. I'm Darren Sears. I'm an artist cartographer or map maker, actually coming from landscape architecture, about a dozen years in private design practice. I work in watercolor, inspired by my travels in about 15 countries on 6 continents so far. Rare plants and ecosystems are the main attraction, though there are some human and animal components too. My goal is to represent geography and spatial experience by collaging multiple views into these mosaic like compositions. I try to capture diversity and contrasts in nature that you can't experience in a single landscape or snapshot. This focus on spatial relationships is why I think of these works as maps. I don't even really call them paintings. Unlike typical maps, though, mine immerse you within the places they're about because they contain these ground level perspectives that are based on my own photography. Those are interspersed, though, with aerial views just based on Google Maps to help fill out the spatial relationships. And so these immersive maps take you on journeys through these geographies at the same time as you feel like you're floating above them. This sense of floating above, of seeing the composition and the geography as a whole, happens because I try to use the same colors and textures across both the aerial and landscape pieces. So stepping back, you can't immediately tell them apart. It all kind of flows together into a single unified view. If this all sounds complicated and the works look complicated, well, you're right. The places that inspired them are complex and diverse, and that's the whole point. And so the concept also takes a fair amount of explanation. Actually, it goes far beyond what I've told you so far. And that's also the point. This particular series of watercolor maps has been going for about 7 years, though you could say that I've been working through the ideas for about 20. And during the past few years, I've decided that this complexity is just something that I need to embrace. So I've been thinking about these works from more of an academic than an artistic direction, writing about them, giving talks and workshops at conferences in geography and cartography. I've been treating them more like papers than paintings, playing up this cartographic aspect. But this has created a bit of a bubble that I'm ready to break out of by making a series of these videos along with the Substack. They'll get a bit into how the work has evolved over the years and my artistic process, but really I'll focus on how these amazing places have inspired the maps from this special and spatial angle of edges and islands, these mosaics in real life that I then accentuate in 2D. I will work in some of the more academic and theoretical aspects too, like why some of us might be drawn to these kinds of places to begin with, and what that might mean in terms of how we experience nature in general, especially now that it's changing so quickly. I should say here that this concept of an ecological mosaic is not my own. It actually comes from landscape ecology, where the focus is on spatial flows and interactions between different piles in the mosaic. I will reference that science a bit, but I'll always come back to what it all means for our experiences of these places. These videos and posts will be taking over from a blog that I've been writing since 2019. They'll reformulate those blog entries a bit and move beyond them. That blog is on my website if you'd like to have a bit of a preview of what you'll be seeing here. So thanks for watching this first installment. Please like and subscribe. Check out my Substack too, and stay tuned for a lot more to come.